Bob Maloney from MyMMAnews.com. And man, it's been 6 long years since my guest, Anthony Dill, has been in the cage. I'm so glad to talk to him. He's been through so much to get back to this point. But Anthony, it's fight week. Just give me a couple words about how you're feeling. It's been so long. What's going through your mind and how you feeling inside that gut?
I feel good, man. I don't even feel like I'm in like a fight camp as far as like the dieting and like all that goes. I feel good. I never felt better in my life. Feel good, feel strong. Week out, I'm like 155-ish. I don't feel like I'm cutting weight yet. You know what I mean? I'm water loaded. I feel good. I haven't felt this good ever in my life.
Well, listen, you've been through so much. Listen, the crazy thing, Anthony, is your last fight 6 years ago was a hell of a fight against Kenny Richmond. It went back and forth. I was cage side calling that fight, and I remember that fight, and I thought you won the fight a couple of times with a couple submissions.
Yeah,
you bloodied him up. It was like a great fight back and forth 6 years ago. I know you had a bad motorcycle accident you had to fight back from. Tell everybody a little bit about, the battles that you had to deal with outside of the cage just to get back to this point.
I mean, it wasn't too many battles as far as like getting back in the cage. I took most of my time off like willingly, and then towards the end, like after like 2 years ago, I guess it was, like when I wanted to start fight again, got in the motorcycle accident, you know what I mean? COVID came, and it was like, that held me back for the past, like, I don't know if 3 years now. I don't even know. It's been so long. Everything has been a blur. But so the first like 4 or 5 years was all me. I needed to take my time, needed to grow up a little bit, keep training, get more mature, get my man strength. And then when I wanted to fight again, then it was like the little dumb things, and the motorcycle accident. I don't even know what else. COVID came. That's the biggest, that was that like 2 years ago, I think? I don't even know. But yeah.
Listen, you've been in the sport for a long time. You're a Philly guy. You've trained with some of the best fighters in the region and in the world. And now you're over and you're a full-time coach over at, Algeo MMA and kickboxing, and Bill's in the, rightfully so, deservedly so, in the UFC now. I love to see it. Tell me a little bit about this now. How's your day go? Do you enjoy being in the gym full time? Has it helped you? Because obviously, Anthony, 6 years ago, the growth that I'm sure that you have from 6 years ago to what you're seeing today yourself, when you're judging yourself with your sparring, with your grappling. I'm sure that 6 years you've said you've trained, so you use that time wisely, and now you're with Bill. Tell me about over at Algeo's.
So basically, I went from Martinez for, I don't know, I was 19, I think, when I went to Martinez. I was there till I was 19, 25. And then I came over to Algeo's during COVID, pretty much. Bill's, I can't thank Bill enough for, like, Bill's like one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. Like, super nice dude. And like you said, rightfully so in the UFC. He's super talented, super hard worker, super skilled. Being able to be around him, you know what I mean, and like have a fight camp. He's almost in fight camp too. You know what I mean? Like we're both working for fights and helping him get ready for fights. Like it helped me a lot these past, like, I think I was there for like a year and a half ish, maybe. What do you think?
Yeah,
like a year and a half ish. I don't even know, but regardless, my life changed that. I've been training for a long, like, I've been around. Like I started, started doing striking for a few years after I stopped fighting with Andy Russell. I don't know if you know the name, but Andy's from Balance. He's an amazing striking coach, like the smartest. Like I've never been able to pick a mind like his in my life, and I learned so much in like the couple years we worked together. And I was able to take that forward with me, through training. Have that now. And I don't even know where I was going with this.
That's all right.
What was the question? Algeo. Yeah.
That's all right. Listen.
Like, I'm in there coaching now, like learning so much from coaching. Like I had no idea how much you could learn from trying to teach 20 people how to do something. Like you learn all the little details yourself that you sometimes don't even think about. Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, listen, and like we said, Anthony, you're in the gym much more now because that's your job. That's what you're doing for a living. And I remember talking to you when you first got it, and you were like, "This is the first time you've been able to do that." So
Yeah.
that's just more time to train, more time to talk fights. I know
Yeah.
Bill's a huge student of the game too. I'm sure he has that influence on you. But let's talk about this fight. Art of War 21, South Philly, Rivers Casino. You know, you're coming back, you're taking on a young man who's, he's a young kid. He's
Yeah.
making his pro debut. He's had 9 fights, 6-3 as an amateur, and in a few years he's had 9 fights. So he's been really busy. But
Yeah.
obviously, just looking at it, handicapping it, obviously you have the experience factor. Do you even care about Oscar Garcia and what he brings? Or are you just going to go out there and do your thing, or how does this work at your, looking at him in camp, and how do you see the fight, Anthony?
So, I mean, it doesn't really matter who I was going to fight. I have the same game plan for anybody that I come across, and it's going to be better on my feet, be a better wrestler, and be better on the ground. Period. Doesn't matter who I fight. That's my game plan every time. But as for my opponent, I don't really he doesn't have a big strong suit that I'm worried about, that I'm preparing for, anything like that. So it's not that I'm not worried about him, but this isn't a fight for me where I had to focus on anything specific. I had to worry about anything specific. I'm expecting a young athletic kid that I was 5 years ago, fighting people my age that are, I was in his shoes. And so I kind of know what I'm expecting to come out. I'm expecting just a young athletic kid. And that's, it's not that I'm not worried about him, but I'm not worried about anything specific, if that's what you mean.
Here he goes. He's never worried because he's a Dill brother. And let me tell you, from dealing with him and his brother Will, they don't worry about anything. They're Philly boys. They live life, and they're warriors. And I can't wait to see him. Going to be K-Side calling his fight coming up. Art of War. Anthony, give some shout outs or some love to your sponsors or anybody, who's providing that moral support, to help you get back in there after 6 long years.
Yeah. So as for sponsors, I got my friend David Martin's Coatings, great dude. Ramen Bar Philly, Dean, good guy. And I can't even say Antrim Electric, Greg, great guy. Primal, all the Primals, but specifically Primal Glassboro. TMC Mechanical Service, my girlfriend's company, Detail Biddy, my company, Rolling Stone Sports, Algio. I can't thank them enough. And then as far as people, man, I got to thank Bill for getting me back in that gym and, giving me the leeway to train twice a day, teach, be in the gym, be around the gym for my life, not just training. I got tons of good training partners, Malik, Jeff, Josh, my brother came and helped me out. There's a ton more that I can't even think of off the top of my head. And then, my girlfriend, she's done, so much for me. I crashed my car, needed rides to the gym, all that stuff. And being able to train, every day with her, she's probably one of the biggest helps as well. But yeah, I'm ready to rock.
Sherry Schmidt, get her name out there.
Yeah, Sherry Schmidt, my girlfriend, Sherry Schmidt.
Oh man. She'll kick your ass. I know she's also in the gym getting better and better. So it's great, Anthony, to talk to you. I'm really happy. I've always been a fan of yours, and I'm really happy that you're getting back in there after 6 years. Best of skills and best of luck to you with this final weight cut. And I will see you at weigh-ins, my brother. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Let's go. I'll see you, Bob.